his experience and his experience developing an mixed reality game.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Andrei Cravtov, and I'm a Unity developer at Bully Entertainment, and mostly we work with VR and AR project. And today we'll talk about Hololens device. It's AR helmet from Microsoft. Uh, yeah, so like, what is like Hololens? Basically, you can see here it's a helmet. It's like helmet plus glasses, so you can basically grab some things with your hands, manipulate with it, and create different like interaction experiences. And At these videos, it might look like really cool, but basically, when you start to work with it, you understand the like current limitations of technology and like generally what you can do and what you cannot. Yeah, so how does it work? It has like lots of sensors, few cameras, few like microphones, mobile CPU, and additional holographic, like Microsoft calls it, holographic processing unit. So technically, it's a thing with AI, like neural networks, and this thing helps to track your hands. Like it uses cameras and depth, and yeah. So basically, you don't need like any joysticks or something. It just tracks your hand, and you can manipulate with UI, press buttons like in real life. It's like some kind of these things we saw in like Star Wars movies, like all those holograms and things. And yeah, down here it's like a piece from Unity. It's like a periodic table of the elements, and yeah, you can make a build and like see this periodic table in real life, and press elements, and it's cool for educational purposes. Uh, yeah, like here we'll talk about a bit about like pluses and minuses of HoloLens. Well, obviously it's price. It's at least $3,000 for a piece. So yeah, it's mostly for big companies, and the projects we develop are also like for big companies like Microsoft, PwC, OCVIP, and usually it's like construction companies, and you're creating like different presentations for big bosses. So they really like all those new technologies. So yeah. Uh, and the device itself, it's really limited. The main problem, well, to my opinion, is limited field of view. I guess it's about like 40 degrees if I'm right. So basically the image, if you're looking at something and you're like just a bit turned on the left or right, it will be cut it like in half. And in order to track your hands, you must look at your hands. So if it loses your hands, that's it. What? Yeah, black color. In HoloLens, black color is like transparent, because HoloLens to render the image on top of the real life, HoloLens uses three lasers. It's like RGB, red, green, and blue. But obviously, lasers can draw black color, so it will be transparent. And I mean, if your skin tone is like a bit darker, it might cause also some problems actually. Yeah, and that's sometimes it's really sad. Well, I mean, it's limitations of the technology, So for now, yeah. Let's hope they'll fix it like with HoloLens 3. Yeah. By the way, we are using HoloLens 2 at the moment. In the past, we just tested HoloLens 1, but it was even worse than current thing. So, and we are waiting for HoloLens 3, but we are not sure. Maybe Microsoft just canceled it. So let's wait. Yeah, and the funny downside of the HoloLens, if you're like opening the application and closing it, there will be like a floating window. It's like collapsed application in Windows, but in addition, you have to close all the windows, because if you want, there will be like a lot of windows like floating all around, and you'll have just to walk and close every application. Yeah. Um, Advantages. Well, now the Microsoft like just throws a lot of money to HoloLens. They even have a contract with U.S. military structures. Like I guess it's more than $20 billion. So they're trying to implement like, military stuff, and it helps like to develop the technology, because there were like Google glasses or something. They tried to make something smaller, but at the moment, the HoloLens is the only way like to really feel all those holographic things, to touch the future kind of. Uh, yeah, technically, if you're working with engines like Unreal or Unity, they have good SDKs for those engines, like it's MRTK, like Mixed Reality Toolkit, and it's relatively easy to work with HoloLens in terms of developing things. Yeah, and like why we need it. Simple people for now, like just I don't think people need it at all, but like it's my opinion, because you can just go and buy those 3K glasses and use it at home. But but for big companies, for presentations, for like construction companies, and if you want like really to create this wow effect, that's a really cool technology, because like clients and people taking the helmet on, and it's really cool just to walk there and press the buttons. Like, I mean, from the side you're looking like a crazy, but you know. And also there are like really cool use cases in education. You saw the periodic table before, in like art or design, or if you want to just show some architectural stuff, the HoloLens is like good to go. Yeah, down here I'm not sure. Can we turn the light like partially? Yeah, because I think like it's too bright. Oh, yeah, nice. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, and down here you see it's like an advertisement from Microsoft, I guess, and they're like promoting it like you can fix it remotely, like look at the connections through the hole and see where like, the pipes in the home or something. Uh, and then the advertisement looks cool, but I mean you can check it later at our booth and see like what is it like in real life. Maybe like in 5-10 years it will be it will be like that, and you will be able really like to fix things with that. But now it's more like, I guess it's the way they want it to be like in the future. Okay, and here's a bit of technical thingy. Um, so yeah, we are developing the um, like for different platforms like iOS, PC, web, but HoloLens runs on Windows. So yeah, if we're talking about HoloLens, it will be like kind of Windows PC. And yeah, we have like GitLab CI, build node written in Rust. Usually we use Unity, in some cases Unreal Engine, and for the HoloLens we need also Visual Studio and Visual Studio tools, since the HoloLens works like kind of like iOS iOS like builds in Unity, because you're usually creating the project for iOS, and only then in Xcode you're building the package for the device itself. So Hololens basically it's the same. And then we are just uploading it to App Center. App Center is the thing where you can distribute the applications, and then we throw the link with builds to our clients or somebody. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, MRTK. MRTK is like SDK for Hololens, and it helps us to just speed up the process of developing. MRTK, like Microsoft tries to combine all those AR, VR devices into one SDK, like HoloLens, Oculus, and all other types of mixed reality glasses, and we use like MRTK for all those devices. And it just helps to like implement fast controls for HoloLens, different logic, and create builds. Like it contains different interactions and components just to work with HoloLens inside the Unity and Unreal Engine. And yeah, here you can see also some use cases, like educational use cases. You can manipulate with your hands, like, and it tracks really well if it sees your hands. So yeah, just come to our like booth and try it, because you need to feel it. Technically, HoloLens is a mobile device with a simple processor, not the most powerful device, except a few things. It has like 4 light cameras, infrared eye tracking cameras, one depth camera. It tracks like the depth of the environment itself. It has gyroscope, accelerometer, and all those kind of things, and a simple camera. And the most interesting part is the holographic unit. It helps you just to detect your hands, like with the help of AI. And it's like disassembled HoloLens. Yeah, in the back, it's like the biggest part is the battery, and usually it's the hottest part. Yeah, in the front you can see like it's the processor, dev modules, all those visors, cameras, and yeah, speakers in the middle. Yeah, and at the Bully usually we develop projects for big, like if you're talking about HoloLens, big construction companies, they like all those architectural stuff, and you can really show different like prototypes of the buildings they want to create in real life. So like later, yeah, it's one of our projects, OssiVibe, and it's I will better to we'll start the video. just remembered this project was interesting, really interesting in one way. We developed it like for HoloLens and the iPad like at the same time, so you could use the HoloLens to watch all these like holograms, and you could use iPad as well. So yeah. Uh, okay, I spoke about this. Yeah, and like the latest or like interesting project was MLB Face the Pitch. We had this event in US, like baseball event, and basically the idea was to use the volumetric captures. It's like technically you're like taking a real human, making a video out of him, and then you create a 3D model out of it. And yeah, like these 3D models are already animated in inside Unity, and you can just create those volumetric holograms of real humans, like virtually. And the idea of the project was like to have a pitcher and the catcher, like one catches the ball, another like throws the ball, and you like theoretically would have to kick the ball out. And it looks like that. It's without music, but yeah, so these guys are kind of real humans, but you know, recorded. Yeah, and if you really want to check it like in real life, also visit our booth. And yeah, technically that's it. Like, I think you should just check the technology and see if it like really how it feels and what you can do with it, and maybe we'll explain more about it. So yeah.
Now we have a time for questions.
Andrei, what do you think about the future of games in such additional reality experience?
Future of the games, right? I mean, we tested it, and if you're using this augmented reality, your hands like really getting tired. So I think the future will be at that point when we'll be able to control it with our mind. Like if we'll have that point, but now it's really limited by our body because you're getting tired, and by the technology itself. Maybe in, I don't know, 15, 20 years we'll have some improvements.
More questions? In that case, I will take the mic for the question. So, why did you choose HoloLens, or why do you believe it's superior to other like Vive, Facebook, Oculus, and other solutions on the market?
Well, Vive and Oculus are like VR, so technically it's the same as the like playing near a simple screen. But augmented reality, well, okay, we had a client who wanted that thing. Also, we
If I may, how do you understand the difference? Because I have tried, I think it was Vive, it has a cameras, and like it felt.
Vive has cameras, but does it like can it like use this augmented thing like yeah, it can't as I know. So but HoloLens is like Pokemon Go if you play it. It's like you're placing real objects, you know, in life. So and why we picked it? Well, at Bully we started with old glasses. We had Magic Leap, we had like HoloLens 1, okay. And we always try to implement all these new technologies because, you know, we're trying to be innovative, kind of. And it's just interesting because I think it's, yeah, I think I might sound like sarcastic sometimes, but I think that's anyway it's the future. So, but I think the future will be at least at that point when it will be like our glasses, like simple glasses. Because now it's like a bit, you know, like a pricey toy. it's just interesting. That's why I think.
Okay. Second question I've got is about you mentioned the HoloLens has eye tracking technology.
Yeah.
So what is this used for? Like a practical application?
Well, HoloLens has like few type of inputs. You can like touch things, grab things. You can use your voice, like voice input, and also you can use gaze to trigger things.
Okay.
And I think there are more use cases, but I don't really remember it because yeah, we just didn't. You know, there are like lots of sensors there, and you just in some application you just can't use it because of time limitations. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else interested asking questions? If not, if I understood you right, we are able to come to your booth and try out your applications. So all of you are invited, and thank you for attending the lecture. And thank you, Andrei, for preparing and presenting.
Thank you.